Who is this talking shit in my stream, huh? Jeez, yeah, Alex. Why is this freaking thing so tiny? I can't even see what's going on there. Appearance. Font size. Alex. Right, so error, expected unqualified ID before equals token. Maybe tonnage. Who's Alex? Is this somebody I know? Before, I need to decide how rude my response is going to be to that. Okay. Right. So, what is this thing? What is this crap? Expected unqualified ID. ID. I'm sure I have many like that. So why is that giving a compiler? Client shared client ID.cp. Line number 3214. Okay, I really don't see any problem with that code. This compiles in Windows, but on the Mac doesn't like it. Okay, what's going on with the freaking search? Look in entire solution. Shift F. The flip, man, why's my search not working? I don't know who Alex is, but I don't know why he thinks I'm trying to impress him. I don't care about his opinion. Okay. Alright, so this frickin' Visual Studio search isn't working. That worked. Now it's working. I didn't do anything different except type something there. That happened yesterday too. I typed something there and then it worked. Then it worked again. Probably a bug. So what was I looking for? I was looking for oh yes, search ID pool batch. It's a standard deck. I wonder if that's got something to do with a compiler. Maybe. Let's see the one at line 2245 and 2214. This one isn't a standard deck. It's something totally different. It's just a function. It returns an ID. I wonder if it could be the word. Maybe the variable name ID is declared global in the global somewhere globally in the Mac build environment. But I've got loads of these djrd IDs. Why just these are problematic? Like why would why are those building fine? Maybe they're not building fine. Maybe it just conks out. No, but all this stuff's building fine. So it's just a new file that's not. Let's just have another look if I included the right header. djrd.h, yes. It's just a simple type def to unsigned int. I really, and I didn't know, it's just 0. Expected unqualified ID before equals. Maybe let's just try something other than the right ID and see if it just helps. I'm not sure if it's gonna have to start building from scratch. I hope not. Or if it'll just rebuild the changed, carry on where it left off. I'm not sure. Let me just check my microphone settings. Yes, that looks correct. Fan's a bit loud. Then use reserved keyword. Maybe ID is reserved keyword on the Mac build environment. Seems unlikely though. I mean, we've got a variables ID all over the code. Millions of these, surely. Not millions. Yeah, there are millions. Look, so all these work. Why is it suddenly a problem? It's never been a problem before. Right, what else do I need to do? This will actually be very interesting, because I can build a client on the Mac and then see if I can connect to the Windows server from the Mac client. That's what I'm doing. I'm adding the new client server stuff I'm busy working on. The new client server stuff was in the Windows version of our software, but not yet in the Mac version. So what I'm doing as a start is just adding. The server side is a bit difficult. I can't easily just add it because it introduces some complex dependency issues. But the client side should not introduce any serious dependency issues. So what I'm doing is I want to add the client side already to the Mac of the new multi-user stuff in the client data source to TPB 16 error initialize before stars. Client data source. I haven't slept much. I slept like 1 hour. That's why I'm a little bit slow. Okay. Although probably nobody noticed. Okay. 116. The reason that happens is the precompiled headers on Windows include various headers. They don't get included on the Mac. So often code that compiles on the Mac, on Windows first, doesn't compile on Windows just because there's a simple missing header. So the client IDE compiled now. So that all it was that IDE somehow is a reserved keyword or something, or didn't like, but I don't know why all the rest work. Like there's lots of DJID IDs in the code, and only the ones in client IDE.cpp are problematic. Maybe it's got something to do with the dependencies that are dragged in, like this property tree stuff and the JSON parser stuff don't get used anywhere else except in this code, except in the client IO stuff. So maybe somewhere in here there's an ID or something called ID, or I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know what that story is with IDs, but it looks like renaming it. It looks like simply renaming the variables fixed it. So avoid using ID as a variable name going forward. Until yeah. Here's my honest opinion on VI versus Emac. So yeah, I don't normally talk about this, but it's actually, I do have an opinion on the stupid this is almost cliched. Yeah, Emacs is 1,000 times better. It's not. It's. It's really. I know just enough VI to like. If you log into a Unix system that doesn't have any friendly editors, you need to know basic VI to be able to get into a file, edit it, save, and get out. Like escape. Colon W colon Q blah 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 blah. Insert to insert stuff, or I to insert stuff, or whatever the fuck. But just enough VI to be able to edit a file if there's a system where VI is the only available editor. Because I have worked on systems where that's the case, but it's such a horrible user experience. It's to my brain is like nails on a chalkboard. I enjoyed using Emacs. I used to know like millions of the keyboard shortcuts, lots of fancy lots of things you could do if you know the keyboard shortcuts in Emacs. VI must be one of the worst user interfaces ever conceived. It's like I don't think it even made sense when it was created. Like I don't think you can say, oh, but the old Unix systems were really primitive, so VI made sense as a user interface design. I don't think you can even say that for it. Like I don't think it made sense even on the really old Unix systems. I can understand some people, it's a subjective thing, some people like this, some people like that, each to their own. Objectively we can say it's not a good user interface. Alright, so this actually compiled now. Hey. So now I want to see if I can run a server. I want to compile on Windows with the server included. Trigger off my viewers. So yeah, I want to tell server hash define tell server if public alpha yeah, and now I want to compile on Windows with the server built in, run a swin and try connect to my Windows server from the Mac client. So this is what I'm working on. TL term terminology software, tlex dictionary production software. And I'm working on the new client server multi-user stuff that uses an integrated HTTP server and integrated JSON RPC API for the client server stuff. Really powerful, really cool stuff architecturally, but yeah, I'm just testing some of the new functionality and getting some of the new functionality working on the Mac version. So there it is, open document by connecting to TL server, and if this works it's going to be very cool. I don't know if it's going to work really. I'd say there's a 70% chance it'll work. It should work. There's no reason it shouldn't work. The client portion uses curl, libcurl, which is really straightforward, solid for the most part. There might be an issue relating to my setup. This machine might not be able to see, this VM might not be able to see this machine. 5.6.1. Wow, look how slow it is. It's like one of those old games in movies with a typing effect. 4.3.100. I got confused about the time of my stream, because daylight savings kicked in, yeah. But luckily I had it the right way around. I was an hour early rather than an hour late. And just before I was about to start the stream, like an hour early, and then I was like, hang on, daylight savings. Shit, I missed the stream. And then I checked the time, daylight, and it's actually the other way around. I was an hour early. The first time I've ever, I think, been in a daylight savings time zone. So let's ping 192.168.56.1 43.100. Should be on the same subnet. Okay, we can ping the server. So yeah, this must work. There's no reason it shouldn't work. tlex client. .168.43.100. So basically the port I specify when I start the server. So when I start the server on the Windows side here, I'm just waiting for it to finish building. But once that finishes building, then I'm going to run it. It's just busy compiling. As soon as this is finished, then I'm going to run it and run it in server mode. And then from the Mac, this back VM where I've built it, the same source code with a client portion, I'm going to try to connect to the tlex server, tlex suite, that's the software. Dictionary editing software, professional lexicography software. Just it's a commercial break. Doing some advertising. Right. Testing. Test. So, yeah, I want to listen to music, but copyright, blah 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 blah. What I'll do is, I don't want copyright violations in these watch me work streams that I must, because I must stream to you. I've got a scheduled weekly watch me work stream, and yeah, I have to. So for that, I have to stream to YouTube, which means copyright violations if I play music. So instead, you get to listen to me talk. What I'll probably do when the hour is up is possibly stop the stream and restart it, maybe without YouTube or something, and then just listen to music while I work.
No, she's not here.
Just waiting for it to build. So yeah, I'm basically just waiting for the Windows version to build, and then I'm on Windows run a server, and then I'm just running here in Mac client via in a virtual machine, and then I want to connect to my Windows server from the Mac client. Strange, very strange. Why would we have build errors? This always worked. Oh, I refactored a few things. Oh no, that makes sense. Yeah, I took out some headers, so we re-add headers on an as needed basis. For the server, because I moved, this file was very big, like 7,000, yeah, more than 7,000 lines, but I moved the client. I needed to build the client part alone without the server stuff, so I sort of had to basically move the client stuff out into its own file, which should have been done from the start. Anyway, so btd installs, that is in dj interface storage. There's probably one or two more headers that need to be in. I think you can see the compile process because I'm there. Yeah. GLG properties. That should actually not be in this file. I don't like this. This is like the UI almost for the thing that where you start the server in the application, but it's not actually the server stuff itself. It sits above it and has user interface stuff. So it'll be a bit of a mission to move it out now though. So I should probably let me do something like this. Server application UI again or something. And then just keep these very separate, the headers, so that I know headers e.g. move this stuff in separate HTTP files. These headers also. I think that's in. I'm not sure. Control Shift G. Stand on the header file and say, if you want to open a header file, stand on it and press Control Shift G in Visual Studio. I'll open that file. Yes, there we go. C++ is ridiculous with the whole header situation. Headers I mean, it's very chicken mesh. The whole, it's very, like you have all these headers, and these headers include millions of other headers. And like with things like boost and WX, they're massive. They're just massive complex template stuff. And each of them have like more and more dependencies. So like one CPP file, this is why one of the reasons C++ compile DOMs are not, it's a bit slow compared to other languages. The compile times, they're trying to solve it with modules. I don't know, the new modules, some sort of new module spec or something. But the other weird thing about it is you tend to have a lot of like if def this, then do this in the header, else if def, then do that for different platforms and things like that. But like a typical CPP file, I like just once, like just the stl server.cpp. If you compile this file, all the dependencies dragged in the header files are probably like thousands of lines. So you'll have like a 10-line CPP file with a few headers, and to compile that, it's basically thousands of lines. But Visual Studio let's use pre-compiled headers to try to solve that. Okay, finally it builds. So I'm going to just open some arbitrary file. Oxford Northern to English, Oxford Essential copy. Right, so this is one of the Oxford dictionaries that sits in tlex, and we're going to say, we run tlex, we open it, and we say start server, run it on port 81. So here is where that's the UE. This is the little UE I was talking about now. That's the stuff server application UE. That's this dialog properties that I was talking about now. Exactly is this for when we start the server to specify things like which port. So we tell it to run on port 81 because I think my port 80 is occupied. Yeah, basically that port must match start server. So now it should say server status because the server's running. Not moment of truth. So this client is literally connecting to this application. This application has a server, a web server built into it now running. And this runs as a client. It logs into this server. It's working. Yay! Lovely. Client. Right. So can basically, let's try to do some scary things like, no, but I don't want to make changes. I should save as before I make changes. Quit. Oxford Central copied on my server testing. Start server. And now it's in open recent, so you can just click on recent, log into it, and now we're going to try out an entry. Let's add a new, I know what to add, we're going to say new entry, vim, and we're going to add a definition, add a text editor with a terrible user interface, so bad that it is famous for how bad it is. But useful occasionally if working on a Unix system that doesn't have any better. Yeah, but that's VI. That's more like VI than VFM. Anyway, right. Now I want to see if that appeared here. So I added it in the Mac and saved it. It's supposed to appear there. There we go. Boom. Wonderful. So that was added by the client. It's working. So now I just want to commit my changes. That's a really good definition. VIM text editor with a terrible user interface. That's not going to be in the next Oxford dictionary, Oxford English dictionary, as you can see there. All right. The talking nonsense. I've never added anything to a client's dictionary, but I've been tempted once or twice. I've had the opportunity to insert things into real dictionary projects, and probably would have gone unnoticed. But no, it's very unethical. I would never really add something to one of our clients' dictionaries without permission. Not even to insult vi. Okay, so these are Mac compile fixes, basically. Yeah. So then, yeah, the new multi-user stuff I'm working on. So I'm just committing it to my subversion database, which is running on this Linux virtual machine. Look, I'm exposing my IP address. I'm joking. Just obviously that's a private IP. Anyway, okay. Alright, then there was also one or two changes on the Windows side. So I want to just SVN update from that server and then commit the changes from the Windows side. Excuse me. Okay. Re-add headers for server stuff. It removed spread client part. Server client stuff. Okay, and then on the Mac side, SVN update. Yes, that's not a Mac. I'm using a mounted Samba drive from the Mac just to use Tortoise SVN to do the updates and the edits on the Mac. For this application running, yeah, that's it. Okay, so that works now. That's really cool. So maybe I should add yeah, so this is VI for anyone who doesn't know what it is. So to edit a file, say VI bash RC. Okay. Alright, fair enough. Right. But now like, you would think that, let's say I want to start typing David over here, right? I want to, you'd think like normally you would just start typing David, but you'd be, you know, I start typing David and then it deletes the line. Like, all this, this D is delete, okay. And you have to, and this is really so intuitive, you have to press, if you want to quit, you have to press colon and then Q. Like that, that's really, and then you still can't get out. Like, it's frustrating, like, it's giving me errors because of the unsaved changes. Control Q exclamation mark just to force. So you have to know a control Q, a colon Q exclamation mark to exit without saving changes. Like, imagine I remember first, this is so bad. Like, if you know it, yeah, okay. I remember first struggling with this. First, in the early days when I was learning Unix in the 90s, I was logging into systems that VI is literally the only editor available, and I didn't know it at all. And I'm not even sure I knew what a man page was at that time. So I was just like, yeah, I didn't even know what man pages were. Like, somebody would tell me, okay, use VI to edit text. I'm like, okay, VI. Start struggling. Anyway, end up closing the terminal window or something because it's just frustrating and you don't even know what to click. Like, eventually you learn, yeah, you have to press I if you want to start inserting things. But like, okay, I can't press arrow keys now, it just makes a mess. And then I must press escape. Actually, I don't want to save these changes, yeah. You can quit it. And to save, you must press colon W for write. So intuitive. Oops. What have I done now? Recording. I've pressed the wrong thing now. Okay. Definitely the world's best text editor. Absolutely. Right, so wow, the changelog doesn't even mention the biggest new feature in the software. That's okay. Editors, major. That can't be surely. So, oh, there it is. No, new. Yes, it doesn't mention it. Our changelog doesn't even mention the biggest new feature in tlex 2019. Add client side of that is not new client server. I don't know what to call it. I must new GL server multi-users new. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure if it works in TL database. And use tool start server to start that instance as a server. Make the server side is Windows only for now. Okay. Then, if none other instances, either on the same computer or more typically on other computers, then use open document by connecting Windows or Mac. Let's just do this. It's better. Okay. I'm not a fan of word wrap in editors because I want to know whether that's my new line or the editor's new line. So I normally turn off word wrap, but for a case like this, and I'm streaming it, so it makes more sense that you guys, whoever's watching, if anybody's watching, can at least read that. Right, so for the new, it's for tlex now. Oops. Why did that happen? I think I maybe know why it happened. I think I had a server running, close the file, open a new file. Yes, David. Headings, application data, update local, tlex log. So crashed, BMW stream, Sunday, 31st March. Okay. Util server, multi-user client server functionality. Use tool start server to start that application. Start the application instance as the server. And it in server mode. Technically speaking, it's my launch control. You can run another instance of this. As clients that connect to maybe I should start using tags like strong. I don't know. Enable user management. The dictionary. Term-based menu. And one more user logins. Can each user can log into the TL server instance in their own username/password. This could almost, there's a lot one can say. I want to make a video also, but this is, I can start page, change log. I think this is necessary because that says Mac only for now. Yeah, it's enough. I don't think people like to read too much. I always add long text things, but because I don't mind reading. I read very but quickly. Probably most people don't like to read a lot. New TLSF multi-use clients have open a document. No need to the new tool source service application stay running TLSF. I'm not sure what happens if you don't. Right, so that's our change log on the website, which we want to just upload to the website. This is very cool. So yeah, I just added a massive new feature then, essentially today. This is really exciting actually. Super exciting. Right, so now our change log has that, but now I actually need to build. So now I should do build tests of all the application configurations. I should run a full build test. We have an automated build system which I'll use to do that. Okay, new open document normally in tlex. Run builds at that. I set up a RAM drive recently, and just for interest, I'm trying it out to when I do the builds, I specify the temp folder as the RAM drive. I want to see if it just speeds up compiles. Even if it doesn't speed up compiles, it should still mean less load on the hard disk, so the SSD should wear out less quickly, I guess. Because there seems to be a lot of temp file activity going on during the builds. And Chrome is also really bad, it's hitting the hard disk constantly. I think, I don't know if all the modern browsers are doing that. But alright. To do the build test, I need to close Visual Studio, the automated build test, and I think I should, yeah, I need to first run generate not the build, not the beta. Okay. Builds 2247 official build test. Right, so that'll build. Takes about 20 to 30 minutes, 20 minutes or maybe 30 on Windows, and that'll build all the different configurations of our software. Well, not all of them, half of them, and then I'll do the other half, the beta, afterwards, just to pick up compile errors. There'll probably be compile errors. I think there's a 80% chance of compile errors because the changes are made, yeah, moving things around and changing the config files to sometimes build this and sometimes build that, and have this, like TL reader might not compile with the client IO stuff, for example. And there may also be missing DLLs. I have to be really careful because the boost, like for example, maybe the TL reader doesn't now links to WX boost tree stuff, property tree stuff, and maybe doesn't include the DLL if there's a DLL. I don't know if there's a corresponding DLL for that, but things like that you just have to be aware of. So I'll just have to test. Anyway, let's let that build. And likewise on the Mac. I closed the server while it's running, and I don't know what's going on. It looks like it's hanging. No, it's not hanging, but it's just splitting out lots of errors. Failed to query server status. It's probably like spitting that out by the million. So that's why it's shouldn't really. I don't know. Come on, close. Okay. So run builds 248. So whatever the build number is, I chose there. Just increment it by 1. Or just use the same build number, because actually it's the same source configuration, so we can use the same build number. Plus 8 plus 7. I should probably first wait for the Mac build, the Windows build, to pick up any errors before I even start this. But anyway, let's let that run, and we're gonna let that run, and then we're gonna upload the changelog. To the website, which I just did actually. Yeah. And there was something else I wanted to do. This is a really big thing. I must do a whole video piece on it. It's a big text dump. Right. Yeah, this is very cool and wonderful. I want to actually keep this YouTube video, because this is a really important milestone. Yeah, this is a big milestone, and means I can call this latest build, this next latest build, either tlex suite 2019 RC1. Yeah, probably tlex suite RC1 release candidate. Just first double check things like that. Footsack, like that they aren't. So they're freaking coming out. I'm just first double check things like that they aren't. I'm speaking to this silly window, not to the viewers. I must just first double check things like that they aren't too bad. All the boost pop, yeah, all the boost stuff. Not having the boost dependency, etc. On Mac. Because I added, because the client side stuff, it has a new dependency, whatever. Okay, right. Okay, so these builds take quite long. I'm not gonna. This takes hours, but it'll probably give errors. I suspect there'll probably be little things I have to fix. Oh yeah, I remember what I wanted to do now. I wanted to commit the changelog. That's what I was forgetting. There's a bunch of things in here. I wonder if there's a word wrap option here, because this is pretty wrap long lines. Should have done that long ago for my streams. Sometimes I don't want people to see the exact changes because this is our source code. So sometimes I'm like, yeah, you can only see half the line, it's fine. You know, I don't want to literally give away our source code. Like especially if I'm scrolling a long file, long CPP file, I'm basically just giving the whole thing away in a way. But not that I think someone's gonna sit and retype and steal that, but it's, yeah, the people copying our ideas, that's for sure. There's no, yeah, our competitors copy our ideas. We don't have competitors. I don't know what I'm talking about. Classical's editors, right-click menu, can now move up and move down to manually reorder entries in databases where automatic entry sorting is disabled. That's something somebody told me in business once. Always say you don't have any competitors if anyone asks. Even if that's not true. Okay, alright. So sometimes I catch myself saying our competitors and then I correct myself. No, we don't have competitors. Can I use move down to manual reorder entries in databases automatic? Entries sorting is disabled. New document property show. Yes, I must to do, announce and explain, etc. XSLT stuff. Delivery on Mac. Okay. Announce and explain. Document and announce and explain the XSLT stuff. Oh, it is documented and explained. Use a file named after the current style set, go to the XSLT extension in the output folder. Yeah, I can definitely elaborate on that. This is very powerful. This is extremely powerful. And it looks like just a tiny irrelevant footnote in the changelog. Yeah, like this is a problem in a way. Like we add a really big powerful new feature and there's a little note in the changelog that probably nobody even notices. So I need to do more marketing of what we're doing. Same with this stuff. It's a big, powerful new feature. This new client server stuff. These are just small things. New document property. Oh, that's actually big things as well, but not as big as the that's a small thing. Okay. This should be tagged as major. Not this. Oh, it is tagged as a major. Major is just a CSS class that makes it more highlighted in the changelog. So like the ones with the green background. That's this major tag. Just a CSS class so that the sort of bigger new features, the more major ones. It's a bit subjective what's major. Like, but the ones that I think are sort of major for our users, just make them more prominently displayed. So the last update, the last big release was, no, the last big update was a year ago. on the dot. Wow, it feels like a lot more than a year. It feels like flipping 100 years. Because so many things have happened. I've moved to a different country. I've packed, my house is rented out. It's just so many things. Recent changes. Okay, so this should basically be, I think I should draw a line and almost call it like release candidate 1. Oh geez, tomorrow's the 1st. I can't release software on the 1st of April. People think it's a joke. April Fool's software update. April Fool's. I suppose if it's got bugs in, then you can always. 1st of April, April Fool's software update. That's funny. Right. Blah 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 blah. So I need to. I don't know what to call it. Not April Fools. I could just say something like. No, tlex week 2019 release candidate 1. It is March 2019. And I'll just change the heading later. To how about something like this? Although that's normally a warning sign of danger, isn't it? Maybe not. Warning. Yeah, maybe not right. Symbols. And it's April coming up, so it's almost Easter again, but I already did an Easter update last year. And that's not a big thing. Let's just see how that build's doing. And I want to check that we're not throttling yet. Thermal throttling. No. Thermal throttling would mean sometimes the builds make the CPU get hot and then thermal throttling kicks in. And then it actually slows down the build. And it's not good for the CPU, I don't think. It's running very cool, almost too cool for. And the build's running very slow. Oh, I know why it's running cool. Because it's not at a full CPU speed. What I normally do to speed things up is kick up the fan. Just makes it noisier on the stream though. Then I can go high performance. See what happens. It's probably better to just wait longer and be a little more gentle on the CPU. Just to save a few minutes, burn out the CPU. I don't know. It's not like it can't handle it, but It probably does not good for the life of the laptop or the CPU. Okay, maybe just stick to that. Is that on 7%? Right, waste my time always just sitting tweaking things like that. It's like, so what should I call it? Diamond? Maybe diamond. Diamond. Or something. Yeah, something nice and Asian looking, like. It's relatively new, 2015. It's going to look very international. I want yeah, maybe it should have a bunch of flags in there. Alright, anyway, whatever. The tlex 2019 release calendar on 30 March 2019. So we're going to just push that up and commit to source control. Changelog updates tlex 2019 RC1. So I want to commit that to my little subversion server. Check up the builds. What is going on here? It's not even starting. Maybe that's why it's running cool. Something is wrong there. That build speed does not make sense. There should be things visibly going on here by now. CPU. Oh. Sometimes Windows has this weird thing where you can press Alt or something and then it like pauses the window basically, effectively. Not really pause this one. I don't know. Maybe that CPU. Yeah, I think it wasn't building maybe. I don't know. No, that looks the same. Anyway, where was I? I want to upload that change log. Yeah, so right. Now I have to do the builds, test the builds, upload the builds for RC1 and then announce RC1 release candidate 1. Select it. Yeah, and then ask a few users to start testing. Sounds good. Yeah, I think I'm going to take a break from the stream and draw a line now. What's going on there? Thanks. Right. The what was I going to do? Oh yes. Oh, that YouTube was behind. Alright.